Please subscribe and give thumbs up. AEW Dynamite results. The 26th of October 2022, Jon Moxley vs Pentagon Jr. First match, 52-21-1, Chris Jericho and 28-21, Daniel Garcia W. The Jericho Appreciation Society vs. 0-0, the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, W. William Regal. William Regal joins the commentary team for this match. Chris Jericho and Claudio Castagnoli will start things off. Jericho talks smack to Castagnoli after the bell rings. Castagnoli with a flurry of uppercuts. Castagnoli with a short arm clothesline. Garcia tags himself in. Castagnoli with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Castagnoli uppercuts Garcia. Castagnoli applies a side headlock. Castagnoli tags in Yuta. Double Irish whip. Double big boot. Yuta repeatedly slaps Garcia in the face. Yuta kicks Garcia in the back. Yuta whips Garcia across the ring. Yuta drop kicks Garcia. Yuta works on his joint manipulation game. Yuta applies a top wrist lock. Yuta with a straight right hand. Yuta with a chop, forearm combination. The referee admonishes Yuta. Garcia headbutts Yuta. Garcia with a chop, forearm combination of his own. Garcia sends Yuta to the corner. Yuta dives over Garcia. Yuta body slams Garcia. Yuta with a senton splash for a 2 count. The BCC with stereo hammer elbows. Jazz pulls Jericho and Garcia out of the ring. That leads us to a Pier 6 brawl. Castagnoli sends Jericho face first into the steel ring post. Yuta rolls Garcia back into the ring. Yuta with the Irish whip. Yuta tags in Castagnoli. Castagnoli with a running uppercut. Uppercut, German suplex combination for a 2 count. Castagnoli goes for a vertical suplex, but Garcia lands back on his feet. Garcia with forearm shivers. Castagnoli with a double leg takedown. Garcia denies the giant swing. Garcia tags in Jericho. Jericho unloads 3 knife-edge chops. Castagnoli answers with 4 uppercuts. Jericho reverses out of the Irish whip from Castagnoli. Hager trips Castagnoli from the outside. Jericho with a springboard dropkick. Hager tees off on Castagnoli behind the referee's back. Jericho slams Castagnoli's head on the timekeeper's table. Jericho rolls Castagnoli back into the ring. Jericho toys around with Castagnoli. Castagnoli dishes out another round of uppercuts. Jericho with a step-up enziguri. Jericho tags in Garcia. Jericho kicks Castagnoli in the back. Garcia hammers down on the back of Castagnoli's neck. Garcia stomps on the midsection of Castagnoli. Garcia with an elbow drop for a 1 count. Garcia applies a front face lock. Jericho tags himself in. Jazz with 2 toe kicks. Castagnoli with a counter vertical suplex. Jericho tags in Garcia. Garcia stops Castagnoli in his tracks. Garcia repeatedly drives his knee into Castagnoli's ribs. Garcia goes into the lateral press for a 2 count. Garcia kicks Castagnoli in the back of the head. Garcia applies a rear chin lock. Castagnoli turns that hold into a vertical suplex. Garcia tags in Jericho. Jericho knocks Yuta off the ring apron. Castagnoli denies the code breaker. Jericho with a double leg takedown. Castagnoli blocks the walls of Jericho. Jericho kicks Castagnoli in the gut. Castagnoli with a pop-up uppercut. Castagnoli tags in Yuta. Yuta with a flying splash for a 2 count. Yuta tackles Garcia. Yuta transitions into a ground and pound attack. Yuta clotheslines Garcia over the top rope. Yuta hits the pain thriller for a 2 count. Jericho nails Yuta with a throat. Castagnoli tags himself in. Assisted spinning DDT. Castagnoli hooks the inside leg for a 2 count. Jericho goes for a back body drop, but Castagnoli lands back on his feet. Castanelli ducks a clothesline from Jericho. Castanelli goes for a springboard uppercut, but Jericho counters with the code breaker for a 2 count. Garcia punches Yuta in the back. Yuta dumps Garcia out of the ring. Yuta lands the somersault plunger. Jericho grabs the baseball bat. Castanelli power bombs Jericho. Airplane spin, giant swing combination. Castanelli kicks Hager off the apron. Castanelli with a flying cannonball sent off the apron. Castanelli clotheslines Menard. Castanelli with a double foot stomp to Garcia. Castanelli uppercuts Parker into the steel barricade. Castanelli with a flying uppercut. Castanelli connects with the neutralizer to pick up the victory. Winner, 1-0, the Blackpool Combat Club via pinfall. Second match, 38-6-1, FTR vs. 24, Keith Lee and 18-5, Shane Strickland in a number 1 contenders match. The Acclaimed and the Gun Club are scouting this match. Cash Wheeler and Shane Strickland will start things off. Collar and elbow tie up. Wheeler brings Strickland down to the mat. Side headlock exchange. Wheeler sends Strickland to the corner. Strickland dives over Wheeler. Strickland ducks a clothesline from Wheeler. Strickland with a roll through head scissors takeover. Strickland starts gloating. Wheeler applies a wrist lock. Wheeler with a fireman's carry takeover. Wheeler tags in Harwood. Harwood kicks Strickland in the gut. Harwood with a snap vertical suplex. Harwood with a leg drop for a 1 count. Harwood applies a wrist lock. Strickland punches Harwood in the ribs. Strickland tags in Lee. Lee blocks the deep-armed drag. Lee whips Harwood across the ring. Harwood ducks a clothesline from Lee. Harwood with a running forearm smash. Harwood tags in Wheeler. Double Irish whip. Lee denies the big rig. FTR is throwing haymakers at Lee. Lee leapfrogs over FTR. Lee drops down on the canvas. Lee with a double crossbody block. Lee with a gut punch. Chop exchange. Lee tags in Strickland. Lee applies a wrist lock. Strickland wraps his legs around Wheeler's neck. Lee with the Grizzly Magnum. Strickland drives his knee into Wheeler's back. Strickland kicks Wheeler in the face. Strickland slams Wheeler's head on the top turnbuckle pad. Strickland tags in Lee. Following a snapmare takeover, Strickland with a diving uppercut across the back of Wheeler's neck. Lee hooks the outside leg for a 2 count. Lee applies a wrist lock. Wheeler with a chop, forearm combination. Lee sends Wheeler into the ropes. Lee blocks the sunset flip. Lee drops Wheeler with another Grizzly Magnum. Strickland attacks Wheeler behind the referee's back. Lee tags in Strickland. Strickland stops Wheeler in his tracks. Strickland stomps on the back of Wheeler's head. Strickland with combo body shots. Strickland tags in Lee. Wheeler with forearm shivers. Lee sends Wheeler across the ring. Wheeler kicks Lee in the chest. Lee catches Wheeler in midair. Lee drives Wheeler back first into the turnbuckles. Wheeler sidesteps Lee into the turnbuckles. Strickland tags himself in. Wheeler with a back body drop. Wheeler tags in Harwood. Harwood unloads a flurry of left jabs. Harwood with 2 haymakers. Harwood is lighting up Strickland and Lee's chests. Harwood dumps Lee out of the ring. Harwood ducks a clothesline from Strickland. Harwood goes for a German suplex, but Strickland rolls him over for a 2 count. Harwood with an inside cradle for a 2 count. Strickland with the O'Connor roll for a 2 count. Strickland slips off the middle turnbuckle. Strickland goes for a crossbody block, but Harwood rolls him over for a 2 count. Harwood with a German suplex. Standing switch exchange. Wheeler tags himself in. Harwood decks Strickland with a back elbow smash. Wheeler ducks a clothesline from Strickland. Harwood with a straight right hand. Wheeler clotheslines Strickland in the back of the neck. Harwood power bombs Strickland. Wheeler with a bridging dragon suplex for a 2 count. Uppercut exchange. Strickland kicks Harwood off the apron. Wheeler uppercuts Strickland. Strickland tags in Lee. Strickland punches Wheeler. Forearm, windmill kick combination. Strickland nails Harwood with the pump kick. Assisted sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Swerve in Our Glory goes for their spirit bomb, swerve stomp combination, but Wheeler counters with a hurricane runner. Strickland kicks Wheeler in the face. Harwood catches Strickland in midair. Harwood hits the slingshot powerbomb. Lee delivers the pounds. Wheeler drop kicks Lee. Lee headbutts Wheeler for a 2 count. Harwood tags himself in. Harwood with a chop, forearm combination. Lee is perched on the top turnbuckle. Wheeler made the blind tag. FTR with the powerplex for a 2 count. Wheeler tags in Harwood. Lee denies the big rig. Strickland pulls Wheeler out of the ring. Strickland with the house call. Wheeler super kicks Strickland. Wheeler ducks a clothesline from Lee. FTR connects with the big rig for a 2 count. Strickland whips Wheeler into the steel barricade. Strickland grabs Harwood from behind. Lee inadvertently knocks Strickland off the apron. Harwood rolls Lee over for a 2 count. Strickland delivers the low blow. The Gun Club attacks Wheeler behind the referee's back. Lee plants Harwood with the Big Bang Catastrophe to pick up the victory. After the match, the Gun Club continues to beat down FTR. The Acclaim storms into the ring to make the save. Winner, 21-4, Keith Lee and, 19-5, Shane Strickland via pinfall. Third match, 32-9-2, Bryan Danielson W. William Regal vs. 53-31, Sammy Guevara W. Tay Melo. Guevara with a pump knee strike. Guevara with clubbing blows to Danielson's back. Guevara with a knife-edge chop. Guevara transitions into a corner mount. Guevara with another chop. Guevara sends Danielson to the corner. Guevara with a running shoulder block. Guevara with an apron enziguri. Guevara poses for the crowd. Guevara drops Danielson with the double springboard cutter for a 2 count. Guevara continues to punch Danielson in the back. Guevara goes for the GTH, but Danielson lands back on his feet. Danielson goes for a German suplex, but Guevara lands back on his feet. Guevara leapfrogs and backflips over Danielson. Danielson with a double leg takedown. Danielson fish hooks Guevara. Danielson applies the Romero special. Danielson with forearm shivers. Danielson with 2 uppercuts. Danielson follows that with a chop, mid-kick combination. Guevara with a chop, forearm combination. Danielson leans into forearms from Guevara. Danielson slaps Guevara in the face. Danielson with another chop, mid-kick combination. Danielson uppercuts Guevara. Danielson works on his joint manipulation game. Danielson stomps on the left elbow of Guevara. Danielson with the butterfly suplex. Danielson applies the cross-arm breaker. Guevara puts his foot on the bottom rope which forces the break. Danielson transitions into a ground and pound attack. Guevara exits the ring. Danielson with a wrecking ball dropkick. Guevara answers with a rising knee strike. Guevara with the Asai moonsault. Guevara is raining down forearms. Guevara with a snap vertical suplex for a 2 count. Guevara puts his knee on the back of Danielson's neck. Melo attacks Danielson behind the referee's back. Guevara is choking Danielson with his knee. Guevara sends Danielson to the corner. Guevara with 2 corner drop kicks. Guevara is choking Danielson with his boot. Guevara with clubbing blows to Danielson's back. Guevara talks smack to Danielson. Guevara with clubbing mid-kicks. Danielson blocks the roundhouse kick. Danielson with a palm strike. Danielson with his 3rd chop, mid-kick combination of this match. Guevara reverses out of the Irish whip from Danielson. Danielson dives over Guevara. Danielson ducks a clothesline from Guevara. Danielson with a running clothesline. Danielson uppercuts Guevara. Danielson whips Guevara across the ring. Guevara kicks Danielson in the chest. Danielson sends Guevara crashing to the outside. Danielson lands the suicide dive. Danielson rolls Guevara back into the ring. Danielson with the shotgun drop kick. Danielson pops back on his feet. Danielson with clubbing mid-kicks. Guevara avoids the roundhouse kick. Guevara with the standing Spanish fly for a 2 count. Guevara drags Danielson to the corner. Guevara gets perched on the top turnbuckle. Danielson goes for an avalanche belly-to-back suplex, but Guevara lands back on his feet. Guevara with a side belly-to-belly suplex. Danielson avoids the double moonsault. Guevara goes for the standing shooting star press, but Danielson counters with the level lock. Guevara puts his foot on the bottom rope, which forces the break. Guevara hits the avalanche Spanish fly for a 2 count. Guevara is raining down haymakers. Guevara starts biting Danielson's forehead. Danielson denies the GTH. Danielson drills Guevara with the reverse Hurricane Runner. Danielson connects with the Buzzsaco knee. Danielson repeatedly stomps on Guevara's face. Danielson with hammer elbows. Danielson makes Guevara pass out to the triangle choke. Winner, 33-9-2, Bryan Danielson via referee stoppage. Fourth match, 33-12, Ryo vs. 15-19, Jamie Hayter W, Britt Baker and Rebel. Ryo applies a side headlock. Hayter backs Ryo into the turnbuckles. Stalemate in the corner. Collar and elbow tie up. Hayter shoves Ryo into the canvas. Ryo ducks a clothesline from Hayter. Standing switch exchange. Hayter with a waist lock takedown. Ryo with a deep armed drag. Hayter drops Ryo with a shoulder tackle. Hayter stomps on Ryo's chest. Ryo bridges out of a pinning predicament. Ryo with a tilt-to-whirl head scissors takeover. Baker trips Ryo from the outside. Ryo sends Hayter tumbling to the floor. Ryo with a flying crossbody block to the outside. Hayter drives Ryo back first into the ring apron. Hayter whips Ryo into the steel barricade. Hayter with a belly-to-back suplex on the apron. Hayter shoves Ryo back into the ring. Hayter with 2 twisting suplexes for a 2 count. Hayter starts choking Ryo. Hayter is choking Ryo with her knee. Hayter slams Ryo's head on 2 turnbuckle pads. Hayter is choking Ryo with her boot. Ryo with a gut punch. Hayter punches Ryo in the back. Hayter dumps Ryo out of the ring. Baker attacks Ryo behind the referee's back. Hayter slams Ryo's head on the apron. Hayter repeatedly kicks Ryo in the face. Hayter with clubbing blows to Ryo's back for a 2 count. Hayter body slams Ryo. Hayter stands on the back of Ryo's neck. Forearm exchange. Hayter punches Ryo in the back. Hayter whips Ryo across the ring. Ryo cartwheels around Hayter. Ryo dropkicks Hayter. Ryo with a roll-through double foot stomp. Ryo with a jumping knee strike. Ryo knocks Rebel off the apron. Ryo with a drop toe hold into the middle rope. Hayter denies the tiger feint kick. Hayter with clubbing blows to Ryo's back. Hayter goes for a vertical suplex, but Ryo lands back on her feet. Ryo applies a waist lock. Hayter with 2 sharp elbow strikes. Ryo with the bridging Northern Lights suplex for a 2 count. Ryo goes for a flying crossbody block, but Hayter counters with the brain buster for a 2 count. Ryo denies the backdrop driver. Hayter with a forearm shot across the back of Ryo. Hayter goes for a belly-to-back suplex, but Ryo counters with a crossbody block. Ryo kicks Hayter in the face. Ryo with a flying head scissors takeover. Baker continues to run interference. Hayter denies the running Meteora. Ryo hits the code red for a 2 count. Hayter avoids the flying double foot stomp. Hayter with the Uranage backbreaker. Hayter goes for the ripcord lariat, but Ryo counters with the dragon suplex for a 2 count. Hayter sidesteps Ryo into the turnbuckles. Ryo rolls Hater over for a 2 count. Hater drops Ryo with the big boot. Hater connects with the ripcord lariat to pick up the victory. After the match, Toni Storm appears on the stage, poses with the Interim Women's Championship. Winner, 16-19, Jamie Hayter via pinfall. Lineup for this week's Rampage: Wardlow, C, vs Matt Taven W, the Kingdom for the UTNT Championship. Madison Rayne vs Tamelo W, Anna J. The Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Willa Yuta, W, William Regal vs the Jericho Appreciation Society, Angelo Parker and Matt Menard. Fifth match, 87-12-1, Jon Moxley, C, vs. 72-39, Pentagon Jr. W, Alex Abrahams for the World Championship. Quick shoving contest after the bell rings. Collar and elbow tie up. Pentagon backs Moxley into the turnbuckles. Moxley sidesteps the overhand chop. Chop exchange. Forearm exchange. Moxley kicks the left hamstring of Pentagon. Moxley denies the Pentagon driver. Pentagon blocks the Death Rider. Pentagon thrust kicks the midsection of Moxley. Pentagon goes for a sunset flip, but Moxley lands back on his feet. Pentagon dodges the park. Pentagon rolls Moxley over for a 2 count. Pentagon ducks a clothesline from Moxley. Saramai Ito. Moxley gives Pentagon the middle finger salute. Moxley blocks the super kick. Pentagon ducks a clothesline from Moxley. Pentagon super kicks Moxley to the floor. Pentagon lands the somersault plunger. Pentagon kicks the left hamstring of Moxley. Pentagon unloads 2 chops. Moxley sitting on a chair at ringside. Pentagon rests the referee's 10 count. Moxley with 3 chops. Pentagon with a counter vertical suplex on the floor. Pentagon continues to kick the left hamstring of Moxley. Pentagon repeatedly slams Moxley's head on the steel ring stairs. Pentagon slaps Moxley in the chest. Pentagon inadvertently chops the steel ring post. Moxley starts bending Pentagon's fingers. Moxley whips Pentagon into the steel barricade. Moxley rolls Pentagon back into the ring. Moxley with a knife-edge chop. Moxley sends Pentagon to the corner. Pentagon drops Moxley with the backstabber for a 2 count. Pentagon kicks Moxley in the ribs. Pentagon talks smack to Moxley. Pentagon with a forearm smash. Pentagon sends Moxley to the corner. Moxley kicks Pentagon in the face. Moxley with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex into the turnbuckles. Moxley with clubbing corner clotheslines. Moxley transitions into a corner mount. Moxley is trying to rip off Pentagon's mask. Pentagon super kicks Moxley. Moxley kicks Pentagon in the face. Pentagon ducks a clothesline from Moxley. Pentagon with the sling blade for a 2 count. Moxley denies the package pile driver. Moxley drops Pentagon with a cutter. Moxley with the pile driver for a 2 count. Moxley applies the level lock. Moxley with hammer elbows. Moxley applies the bulldog choke. Pentagon with clubbing blows to Moxley's back. Moxley avoids the sacrifice. Moxley with a double leg takedown. Moxley repeatedly stomps on Pentagon's face. Pentagon delivers the sacrifice for a 2 count. Moxley and Pentagon are trading back and forth shots on the apron. Moxley nails Pentagon with a DDT on the ring stairs. Moxley with the King Kong lariat for a 2 count. Moxley puts Pentagon on the top turnbuckle. Moxley chops Pentagon. Moxley hammers down on the back of Pentagon's neck. Pentagon thrust kicks the back of Moxley's left knee. Pentagon with a flying double foot stomp. Pentagon connects with the package pile driver. Moxley kicks Pentagon in the gut. Moxley plants Pentagon with 2 Death Riders to pick up the victory. After the match, the Firm gangs up on Moxley. MJF comes down to the ring and fires Stokely Hathaway. The Firm proceeds to demolish MJF to close the show. Winner, still your world champion, 88-12-1, Jon Moxley via pinfall. Please subscribe and give thumbs up.